December 28th will mark the 25th anniversary of Starrcade 97, the culmination of a year-long build where Sting would finally step back in the ring to face Hollywood Hulk Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The stage was set for a main event to become immortalized in wrestling history, and it did, but for all the wrong reasons. And for the first time in over 20 years on that 25th anniversary, Eric Bischoff and Nick Patrick will reunite to watch back and discuss what really happened that night at the MCI Center in Washington, D.C., hosted by Conrad Thompson, a topic that led to one of the most heated exchanges in the history of 83 Weeks.
And now you're going to act like it's ludicrous that we might think that that's what happened here when you managed to fuck up the single biggest moment in the history of wrestling, and now 20 years later you get on here and lie through your fucking teeth and say it's because he wasn't tan?
I'm not lying through my teeth.
I'm finished over a tan? Is this real?
Ad-Free Shows presents a premium watch-along event, The Fast Count, with Eric Bischoff and Nick Patrick, December 28th, 10 p.m. Eastern, immediately following AEW Dynamite. All $29 level members and higher are invited to join, and Top Guy members will be able to ask Eric and Nick questions about this controversial night in wrestling. No spray tan necessary. Sign up today and reserve your spot at adfreeshows.com.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle, and welcome to the Kurt Angle Show. On the show today, we'll be discussing 2012 when I was in Impact Wrestling. We're also going to be covering my birthday celebration on SmackDown from last week. But first, let me introduce to you my co-host, Paul Bromwell. How you doing today, Paul?
Kurt, I am just in awe of the biggest ratings draw and star of SmackDown. Kurt, you got to tell us all about it. When we recorded last time, you were kind of giving us an idea of what it was supposed to be, but what was it like being back in Pittsburgh, being with the crew, and having that milk truck celebration?
Oh, it was the past all over again. I got to relive an incredible moment in my career, the driving the milk truck into the arena in Sacramento, California. That was my favorite moment in the WWE and in professional wrestling. You know, these fans, they want to see moments, and those moments last forever if they're worth it. And this was one of my favorite moments I've ever done in my life. I mean, driving a milk truck into the arena and spraying down Stone Cold Steve Austin with milk, that's pretty awesome.
Well, here you're with Gable Steveson, you know, walking in the back, talking to Braun Strowman. He's got, by the way, a really cool red Pittsburgh Angle shirt, by the way. I forgot to talk to you about that. I was digging that.
My merchandise, that's right.
That was cool. And then, so you do that, but you saw that you had the biggest, you saw the ratings. The ratings were through the roof, man, for your show.
I was in shock. You know, my wife actually pointed out, and she told me that they drew a 2.3 million rating, which was pretty incredible considering SmackDown's doing about 1 million fans a week. So it more than doubled. I was like, holy crap, this is crazy.
They did. They had a little bit of a lull. They're usually close to 2 million, but they had a lull because they were on FS1 for a little while. And then here comes Kurt Angle, baby. Nothing to draw him back in like your Olympic hero and his big birthday celebration. It's always good to see you back on WWE TV. And I have a feeling it's probably not going to be the last time that we'll get to see you. So a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be more to come.
Man, that's awesome. So there you go. Any kind of fun.
Hey, Paul, ask him about the Jason Jordan picture.
All right. So there's Giovanna chiming in on the show. She's in the room, and she.
This way about the picture. He had to hound it down.
Okay, let's hear about the picture, Kurt. She says it's important. We got to find out what's going on. Tell us about it.
All right. Well, my son, Jason Jordan, my son on TV.
Yeah.
gave me a photo of him when he was 7 years old wrestling.
Yes.
It was on TV. He gave it to me on SmackDown. And I wanted to keep it, and I actually forgot it at the arena. So my wife was going crazy, like, you got to get this thing. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's just a photo of Jason. She's like, we have to track this down. She calls the WWE. She tells them that they need to track it down to go to the arena, go back to the arena.
Thank you, Kasama.
Kasama, a producer in WWE, actually did it. And they found the photo, and they sent it to us. They overnighted it to us. I have it. I don't know where it is.
Right there.
Oh, it's right up there. Here, let me show you.
You have to show.
See, knowing Giovanna like I do, I can picture this entire scene. I can picture her hunting it down, and look.
There you go.
There it is.
Guys.
There it is. For those watching on YouTube, you can see it just like you saw it on TV.
Take a smile.
Oh, there you go. What a beautiful picture with you and your son, Kurt.
Yeah, and there's pasta in the shape of a heart.
Oh, you can see where he got his dimples from. That's cute. I like it. Dude, that's so cool. That was nice. And he helped produce that segment, didn't he? Is that what I read?
Yes, he did. He helped produce the segment, and he came up with some of the ideas. And Jason's a really good producer. He's doing really well there.
Man, so
Very
cool.
proud of my son.
Yeah, your son's doing great things, Kurt. Chip off the old block, as you would say. Well, Bud, listen, it was a great time to see you. And like I said, I'm sure we'll see you again at some point soon. But let's get into our topic. Let's dig in. Let's talk about 2012. You hinted at it at the opener of the show. 10 years ago, you were kicking ass in TNA. You're about to enter your 4th year with TNA. What did you think of where the company was at this point? Let's start there.
Well, we had a really good run in 2008, 9, and 10. But in 2012, we were hurting for money. I know they signed a lot of big names at that particular time. I believe Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair were already in the company. I think Eric Bischoff, Kevin Nash. So there was being money thrown around, and the company didn't have enough money to continue to go at the pace we were. In other words, we had to kind of change our monthly schedules.
Yeah.
So, TV didn't go every week anymore. So, they had the budget and try to make it work. And it was unfortunate, but if TNA had just a little bit more money, I think they would have been able to make it over the hump and would have been a really successful company, kind of like AEW today.
Let's talk about it a little bit, because we did cover your start of 2012 in TNA earlier this year on the show with the Genesis pay-per-view. That's where you defeated James Storm on January 8th. And you and I talked about it, but we didn't talk about the UK tour on January 26th and 27th. You, buddy, were a part of Hulk Hogan's final ever matches. It was 2 6-man tags. So it was Hogan, James Storm, and Sting defeating Bully Ray and Bobby Roode in Nottingham and Manchester. And you were part of that group. But looking back, did you know that you were a part of Hulk's last wrestling matches?
I didn't know that till now, right now.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't. I'm actually really shocked, but you're absolutely right. That was the last time he wrestled. And to be a part of that, Hogan's the biggest name in the history of wrestling. He transformed wrestling. So to be a part of that, I'm really proud about it.
Buddy, that's another feather of many feathers in your cap for your career.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're just racking up, man. So listen, we've covered in the past year your feud with Jeff Hardy at Victory Road and your cage match at Lockdown. And you can check all those matches out at impactwrestling.com/packages with the code Kurt. Sign up today. I'm telling you, that's where you want to do it. We have a deal with them. And the beautiful thing is you guys can watch the show on our YouTube channel, filter free. All the clips from Impact now, we don't have to filter. We don't have to hide. You can watch them in full clarity, full HD. So we love the relationship that we have with them there. So check it out, impactwrestling.com/packages. And then the code is Kurt. But listen, you somehow get in the middle of the crazy Claire Lynch angle with AJ Styles. During a match with AJ, Kazarian and Daniels, you interfere to screw over AJ. Claire Lynch is often looked at as a low point in TNA's creative history. Tell us what you're rubbing your head right now. Tell us what you thought about all that.
I don't know. It just was a little weird having this girl part of the storyline that I guess she was an addict, and
yes,
Dixie was trying to help her and AJ was trying to help her. but then it got like so out of control that Dixie and AJ were accused of having an affair. There's just some crazy shit going on. I didn't like the storyline at all. I don't think it did any good for AJ. I don't think it did any good for Dixie. It just wasn't a good storyline. It was one of the worst ones.
It's one of those ones people like to forget, but just can't because it was so bad.
Right.
It's like one of those, it's a blemish with the creative for what they were trying to do. You would team up with Daniels and Kazarian in a 6-man against Samoa Joe, Magnus, who we know is Nick Aldis, and AJ for Impact. Where was your body around this time, though? We talk about it often. I mean, and you're in 6-man tag matches, so that's going to help spell a little bit of relief for you.
Yeah. Usually I'm wrestling singles matches, but at this particular time, my body was pretty banged up. I'm not going to lie to you. 85% of the time in my career, I was always had some kind of injury. So having these 6-man tag matches really took less of an impact on my body, and I was able to save my body for all the important singles matches that were coming up.
Kurt, with the brand new knees, are you feeling like this may be the best you felt in a long time?
It is the best I felt. I wish my back was a little better. I just had injections in my back last week, and they didn't work so good. So I don't know what I'm going to do from here on in, but if my back was good, I would be elated right now. If I had a healthy back, there's no stopping Kurt Angle. He might even come back out of retirement. No, I'm just kidding.
No, as soon as you say it, it's going across the interwebs, dude. Well, let's be hopeful for the back, dude, because if the injections aren't working, hey, they were able to fix up those knees, and science and medicine has evolved so much over even the last few years. And so you got to hope they can figure out your back situation, dude. Is it discs or what? Do you know what the exact issue is?
Discs. Yeah, definitely discs. I forget what it's called.
That's okay.
C1 and 2.
Yeah.
They're kind of fused together.
Yeah.
I got some serious stuff going on. But the injections did help me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Well, we need to get that shit fixed. Let's talk about 2012 though. At Sacrifice, you took on AJ in a singles match, buddy. It's our first clip of the week. We have 4 this week, and this is our first clip. We're going to check it out together, and then I'm going to read what Dave Meltzer had to say about it. I know we're always excited to hear his take on it, but he liked you, Kurt. That's well established on this show. So let's take a look at it. Our first clip of the week: Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Sacrifice from 2012.
Well, it's a weary Styles that's just brought up to his knees by Kurt.
Looks like Kurt, he's hell-bent. He wants to try and get this. It looks like he's going to do a Styles clash here.
That's what he motioned for. Ooh, who better than AJ to block the Styles clash? As Kurt going to go for the ankle.
Sure is. He picked that ankle, but wasn't able to keep the ankle lock on. Oh, there it is. Kurt's going to nail it.
And he did. Roll over. Cover. No. Oh.
Both men spent right here, leaving it all in the ring.
And now, Angle rolls AJ over. Kurt has something in mind when it comes to going high risk. Watch this, watch this. Kurt gonna go for the moonsault. Ooh! Quickness of AJ, the difference.
Come on, AJ, let's go. Come on, you gotta get back in the ring. Let's go, come on.
It's Styles who goes out to the apron.
Watch AJ here, Mike, watch this, watch this. Holy God!
Springboard and splashes down. AJ cover and down.
What the hell? Gotta be kidding me here. Oh my God, AJ just landed right on Kurt so hard.
Drags the prone body of Angle over to the corner. AJ hit it up to the top. Kazarian up on the apron. Daniels is with him too, as you can see. Daniels takes out the legs of Styles.
AJ landed right on his face because of Daniels tripping him up. Angle slam!
There it is. Kurt hits it. Angle slam, pin, leg hook. No!
Oh, nice! Well done, AJ.
I was going to say, I would hate to see this interference from Daniels and Kazarian be the difference. But it's a weakened Styles who's caught, and he's not only got the ankle lock, but he's got it hooked in grapevine.
Yeah, Kurt.
That's a big difference, isn't it?
Kurt's got him trapped in the middle of the ring. He's got to tap. Oh, that's a painful deal right there. No shame in that. No shame in that, Mike. I'm telling you. It was a great match, great contest. Show the two buffoons how to get involved here, trying to screw things up a little bit. Kurt Angle, he stayed locked in the zone there, was able to.
Daniels and Kazarian.
Oh, they're picking at the bones.
They're just not happy with the fact that AJ was beaten by Kurt. Well,
look at Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle had Daniels and Kazarian as tag team partners recently on Impact Wrestling, and that didn't work out too well. And how about that, of all things, it's Kurt Angle helping his opponent in this match, AJ Styles.
All right, there it is. Another classic AJ Kurt match. I want to read to you what Dave Meltzer had to say. He said, Kurt Angle pinned AJ in 20 minutes, 42 seconds. This was a face versus face match and an excellent bout. For the finish, Kazarian and Daniels then came out, which we just saw. Styles knocked Kazarian down, but Daniels took out Styles' leg. Angle didn't see him and hit the Olympic slam, but Styles kicked out again. Angle then used the ankle lock and grapevined it for the submission. After it was over, Daniels and Kazarian beat down Styles until Angle made the save for him. Angle and Styles hugged when it was all over. That's nice. It was a 4-star match from Meltzer. Buddy, I tell you what, man, this is one of the few times you and AJ faced each other and you were both, faces, but you had to always be excited working with him, man.
Oh, whether I was alongside of him as a tag team or working with him, you know what? He made me better. Every time I wrestled with him or against him, he made me better. That's the kind of guy AJ is. That's the kind of athlete he is. Everybody gets in the ring with, he makes the match better and the other person better.
And to me, that's the hallmark of a true superstar, a true professional, a guy that knows how to get the other guy over and makes him better.
And AJ knew how to do that really well.
Kurt, at the end of May, it's Impact live on TV ends every week, and they're only going to be live every other week from this point forward. So why do you think that is? Why do you think that running live every week failed for them?
I told you earlier, the money.
Yeah, just expense.
Going every week, you're going to fly everybody down every single week. You're going to do a live event every week. Instead, go every other week, do a live show and a tape show. You cut the airfare in half and the hotels in half. And there you go. You're off and running. At least we were able to afford that, going every other week instead of every week.
In terms of money problems, though, it never affected you. Your pay was just consistent as ever.
Thank God. God bless Dixie. She always made sure my checks came on time. And they never bounced. She was very honorable to me.
There you go, man. That's great. Well, from this point forward, you're in a tag team, should I say, with AJ, and you win the tag titles from Kazarian and Daniels at Slammiversary. Did you think at this point, Kurt, that you were rounding up your time in TNA? Did it feel like that at all, or what was your outlook as far as at this point in your career with TNA?
Well, I mean, at this particular time, a little bit. I felt like the new guys coming in, these big stars came in, Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and not that any of them I had a problem with. I didn't have a problem with any of them, but I think they, got together, especially Hogan and Bischoff, and decided that it was time to make the young guys. And, there were times where I wasn't even booked on the show. I didn't even have a pre-tape or a promo or any match. I was not even on the show. And when I did, I was losing quite a bit. So I was putting young talent over, and I didn't mind doing that. But every once in a while, you got to throw your top guy a bone to make him legitimate. You can't just keep losing. Yeah. You got to win a pretty solid, good match to keep you at that level. And I just felt like they wanted to push me to the side and just go with the young talent. And they were wasting their money because they were paying me a lot of money. And I don't know if this was the case or not, But that's how I felt at this particular time in 2012.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think the trick is you got to find a balance, right?
Yeah.
Still make you strong so that when you do put that young talent over, it means something. And it's you obviously have your history, your reputation that's always going to give the rub. But if you're just losing all the freaking time, then what is that going to do if you're still just putting people over and they're going to know, hey, he's just the old war horse that's just here to lose now.
You're absolutely right, Paul.
People pick up on that quick. Okay. Fans aren't idiots. So there you go. Well, some are, but hey, I'm having fun. You would lose the tag titles in June back to Daniels and Kazarian, where some of these had to be the best tag team matches you had in your career, don't you think?
Yeah. These in my matches with Benoit against Eddie and Chavo and Edge and Rey Mysterio. Those matches up in WWE and these matches down in TNA,
yeah,
they were equally just as good. I really, especially me tagging with Benoit and tagging with AJ. Like, those are two of the best technical wrestlers in the history of the business. And to be able to tag with those guys was a true honor.
Man, yeah, you're absolutely right. Dave had this to say. He said Daniels and Kazarian beat Angle and Styles to regain the tag titles in 11:46. The storyline was Kazarian and Daniels not getting along and Kazarian not wanting to be there. Referee Brian Hebner got bumped. Daniels clothesline Angle over the top. Then came one of those finishes that I hate because it's the booker. I want to fool the fans on a finish, so make it make no sense. He said, aside from the fact that it was so predictable to begin with, that's what's wrong with it making sense. Daniels had a chair and Kazarian took it from him. Styles hit the Pele kick on Daniels. Kazarian flipped off Daniels and told Styles to pin him. Then Kazarian hit Styles with a chair and Daniels pinned him. This is a little bit of a silly finish here, Kurt, but TNA seems to always enjoy booking a little too cute, don't they?
Well, honestly, that made AJ look dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, Christopher Daniels had a chair. Kazarian took it from him. AJ Pele'd Christopher Daniels and looked at Kazarian like, hey, are you going to hit me or no? No, I'm not going to hit you. Go ahead, cover him. You don't do that because the babyface should never trust the heel.
Yeah.
That just didn't make AJ look very smart. And it wasn't AJ's fault. It's just the way they booked it. It was just really weird.
We want to pause this episode of the Kurt Angle Show to tell you about something Kurt and I are super passionate about, and that's great seafood and steaks. Yes, you heard me right. You know I love food. Kurt likes food when he's not dieting, and he does have his cheat meals, but you're not going to get a better meal than at jimmysfamousseafood.com. If you're a fan of the wrestling podcast, you've heard Conrad talk about it, and many of the other wrestlers. Their pictures are hanging up all over the wall in Jimmy's Famous Seafood, and right now we have a deal for you. You can take advantage of it this holiday season, whether it's for Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, or college football playoffs are here. NFL football playoffs are here, the Super Bowl, your favorite Rumble event, whatever it may be, Jimmy's Famous is going to be a hit at your party. So listen, free 2-day nationwide shipping on orders over $125. All you got to do is use the promo code ANGLE. That's it. Promo code ANGLE, and you can take advantage of that free 2-day nationwide shipping. Now, it excludes steamed crabs and fresh items, but listen what you can choose from. I'm talking Maryland crab cakes, soups and chowders, oysters, signature steaks. They have so many different items. I'm talking barbecue spare ribs, wings, crab dip, and the sleeper item, their crab cake egg rolls. You haven't had anything that good. I'm telling you, I love it. I get it every time I go there. They have packages that you can buy. They have their famous gift box. That includes 4 of the world's best colossal Maryland crab cakes, crab soups, crab dip, seafood seasoning, the whole 9 yards. They have a tailgate bundle that includes those wings and ribs I talked about, plus that crab cake mix. They've been featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives, Beat Bobby Flay, and so much more. And there's a reason for that. They've been in business for 40 years. It's a fantastic company. It's a fantastic place to eat. And they're going to bring it to your doorstep, freezing cold, ready to go, for you to make some fantastic food and be the hero at your next party. Take advantage of it now. jimmysfamousseafood.com, promo code ANGLE. Well, we move on. It's the Bound for Glory series, and that begins at Destination X. And the first match is between you and none other than Samoa Joe. Buddy, it's hard to get better than this, is it not, to launch this whole thing?
No, that should have been the finals.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We watched enough of those matches to know as wrestling fans.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So Meltzer had this to say: Samoa Joe beats Kurt Angle in 14:36. You are losing a lot here in the Bound for Glory series, winning via choke, which as a submission meant a 10-point win for Joe. Mike Tenay said Joe versus Angle was the best rivalry in TNA history. So you have that under your belt. At the finish with the ankle lock, Angle pulled Joe to the center, but Joe used the trunks to break the hold and got behind Angle and put on the choke with the body scissors. Angle was using his elbows to the thigh, but couldn't get Joe off. Finally, Angle got to his feet, hit the Olympic slam, and got a near fall. Angle tried the ankle lock again, but Joe kicked him off. Angle went for the Olympic slam again, but Joe got behind him and got the choke. This time, Joe choked Angle all the way out, and referee Earl Hebner stopped the match after Angle got up to protest, saying that he had never tapped. I've never tapped out. They played it up that Angle had passed out and not that Hebner screwed him on the call. Meltzer gave this one 3 3/4 stars. So, buddy, did you ever think you'd be wrestling Joe in the middle of the card 5 years after your debut in TNA with your epic rivalry that you guys had at the beginning?
It's like we just went lower and lower on the call.
What the hell?
Every year, we were the top, the main event in year 1. In year 5, we're at the bottom. Yeah, it was a little weird, but like I said before, at this particular time, I think they were trying to get new, young, fresh talent in.
Yeah.
They wanted to book the old, Joe and I were considered old wrestlers at this particular time because we had a rivalry, 5 years ago. So I think that they were more focused on the younger talent.
Isn't it funny how things change? You're watching a guy like Chris Jericho, who's around your age now, still getting it done in AEW. But back then, everybody's like, oh, Angle's old, Joe's old. Now, Joe's still kicking ass. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Jericho too, man. I mean, he's at the top of his game right now, and he's 54 years old. It's incredible.
And he's one of those guys we talk about, the balance of still wins a Ring of Honor title one week, puts over a young talent the next week. That balance that we were just talking about.
Adapt. You're absolutely right. And that's what they do with them.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Bound for Glory series since we're here. They had points for different endings. What did you think? Was that complicated? Did you like that? Were you a fan of that gimmick?
I mean, it was complicated, but it wasn't a bad idea. Getting a choke out or a submission, you get 10 points. I think pinfall was 7 or something like that. A tie, I guess, was 5. I don't know. But they had a point system. I thought it was intriguing, but it was a little bit difficult to follow.
All right, there you go. You would wrestle in Mexico at Triple Mania 20. What was your experience like going to Mexico and for AAA? Tell us a little bit about that.
It was cool. I had a lot of fun. Going down there in Mexico City was a blast. The one thing I'll tell you, you don't want to go down there during traffic. It took us like 5 hours to get to the airport from the city. It was incredible. But the fans down there are amazing. They were so into it, always into it. Some of the best fans in the world in Mexico.
Yeah, it seemed like a rabid fan base, loves professional wrestling, and big crowds, passionate crowds. AAA just seems to be on fire. They're still doing well with their shows. But man, exciting time, culture, food. I'm sure everything's a little different, but it sounds like outside of the traffic.
Besides the traffic, it was a great trip.
Kurt, in another TNA overbooking moment, at a 4-way ladder match in the Bound for Glory series at Hardcore Justice, AJ would win over you, Joe, and Daniels in a 4-way ladder match. Tell me, Kurt, what the hell is it like putting together a 4-way ladder match? Tell us all about it.
It's complicated and scary. I do not like gimmick matches, especially ladder matches. I don't like to climb up ladders. I like to get in the ring and wrestle. I like to keep my feet on the ground. And those ladders, it was crazy. And the match was it's crazy as hell too. It was really out there. I mean, we really did a lot of stunts. I didn't do so much myself, but AJ was knocking it out of the park. I mean, he was really a big contributor in that match.
Kurt, I think about ladders. Do you get on ladders today? Do you for the star on the Christmas tree, to put some lights out on the house? I mean, are you just not? Do you like heights at all? Are you?
No, I don't like heights. I'm not a ladder guy. The only way I could put the star in the Christmas tree, that's what I do every year. That's The dad's supposed to do it in the family. So what I do is I bring my couch over, stand on my couch and put it up because I will not get on the ladder.
Ah, so good. Well, listen, right around this time, Kurt, you got into a bit of a Twitter war with CM Punk. And so we're going to talk about that from The Observer. After CM Punk at the Wizard World Chicago convention dismissed TNA as an indie league, Kurt Angle responded on Twitter saying, Punk wants to say TNA is an indie league? I was on top in WWE when you were trying to get a job anywhere you could. It was my choice to go to TNA. If I ever see you, Punk, you better hide, bitch. It was only Angle's choice to go to TNA after WWE made it clear they didn't want him anymore. Angle later tweeted an apology to WWE and TNA fans saying he didn't want to disrespect them, but said he didn't apologize to Punk. Punk did disrespect TNA. He has a lot to learn about fame and responsibility, according to Kurt. So did you ever see or run into CM Punk after this? And do you still feel this way about Punk? Spill it, Kurt.
I don't feel that way about Punk anymore. It was just an incident that I got really mad at that particular time. No, I have never seen him in public. I've never met him once. If I do, I'll probably knock him out. I'm just kidding. No, actually, there's no problem between Punk and I. I actually almost got a chance to talk to him when he was with Randy Orton one night when I called Randy.
Oh, okay.
But we never got to talk. But yeah, that was it. I have really nothing else to say about it. But no, do I hate Punk? No, I don't hate Punk. I just was going through a really trying time at that particular time, and him putting down TNA and knowing I was there, got me a little upset.
But at the end of the day, Kurt, you're just trying to do what you can to defend your company that you're proud of and have worked at for several years,
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I was just defending the company. Punk, he does say some random stuff every once in a while, so I'm not surprised about it. And I don't have a problem with him. I'm cool with it.
There you go. Angle earlier in the week, more from The Observer, tweeted how he wanted to run for political office, starting as a mayor and work his way up to governor, senator, etc., saying he admitted he has made mistakes, but has also accomplished great things. Kurt, here we are 10 years later. Are we going to be voting for you soon here in the state of Pennsylvania or nationwide?
Nope. You know why?
Tell us.
I got too many skeletons in my closet.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work out. There's just no way. Not with your DUIs and stuff. That's all the opposing, political side is going to rip me apart. It's just not worth it. Not worth it to my family for them to go. Yeah, no way.
I just pictured the vote for Kurt buttons and the vote for Kurt. I mean, it would be everywhere. You'd put your opponent in an ankle lock. I mean, it could be so fun just getting you there. But I mean, it's interesting though, if you didn't have the skeletons in your closet, if you were squeaky clean, you something that you could potentially see yourself enjoying.
Oh yeah, I would have enjoyed that. I love making a difference in the political realm. Knowing that you can create new laws and also maintain the old laws. Yeah. There are a lot of things going on today that both sides are just going at it. It's a completely divided political game today. And it's just a shame that we can't come together and be, make it one, where we kind of give and take, but nobody wants to give anymore. They just want to take.
Well said, Kurt. Well said. Let's move on. Your final match in the BFG series is against Jeff Hardy on Impact. Did you feel like you were wrestling the same guys though here over and over again?
Yes, but you know what? I didn't mind. I mean, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy. You want to do a round robin with them all year long, every year? I'll do it. But with my competitive side, I always want to see who or what I can accomplish with other wrestlers. So I was always game for bringing in new guys and facing those guys, whatever guys that came into the company. That was like the competitive side of me that wanted to show that everybody that I could have chemistry with every wrestler that I wrestled. So I took a lot of pride in that, and usually I did have great chemistry with every wrestler I wrestled.
Well, we're going to have a little bit of fun here on the Kurt Angle Show. I've been looking forward to this. The Bound for Glory final standings after this show, some interesting things. So I want to do some word association with you, Kurt, and then we'll talk about it a little deeper. First, James Storm. What's the first thing you think of when I say James Storm?
Incredible talker.
Okay, ready? Samoa Joe.
Badass.
Rob Van Dam.
Entertaining as hell.
Bully Ray.
Smartest mind in the business.
All right, he was fourth. Number 5 was AJ Styles.
Best wrestler I ever got in the ring with.
Number 6, Jeff Hardy.
Exciting to watch. High flyer.
All right, now your 7th and after you is Mr. Anderson, Ken Anderson.
Very talented kid. Absolutely.
Okay. Christopher Daniels.
Underrated.
All right. Magnus, who we also know as Nick Aldis.
One of the most, how do I say this? Had the full package.
Total package. I like it. All right. Robbie E.
Incredible X Division wrestler.
The Pope.
One of the most talented individuals I've ever known. I really like Pope a lot. His character and everything that he did in wrestling, he was really good. He really was.
Real good on the mic too. Real good talker.
That's excellent on the mic. Yes.
Meltzer is critical of your standing. He doesn't like where you're at. Angle finishing 7th out of 12 makes no sense, as he should be in the final 4, both because as a star, he and Hardy are the 2 biggest, and also he's the guy most likely to be able to give the winner the great kind of match that would really give them the momentum. It's notable that the 2 best guys in the ring, Styles and Angle, aren't even in the final 4. Well, Styles isn't dead, but since on TV they only listed 5 guys still alive, and Styles wasn't one of them, I don't see him in the final 4. Angle does have a pulled right hamstring, but when this was booked out, they didn't know that, and he still looked great in the Hardy TV match. I could see Ray okay as a 4th guy or Joe as a 4th guy, but no way RVD should be ahead of Styles or Angle. So hard to disagree with Dave here, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he was right. I'm not going to lie to you. AJ and I should definitely have been in the top 4. I mean, if you're going to make wrestlers and you want them to have the best matches possible, put them with AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, especially if they're young guys. So there should have been 2 young guys in the top 4 and AJ and me. We should have wrestled those young guys in the semis. And then after that, the finals would be either AJ in one of them or me in one of them.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just want to call a quick timeout to tell your listeners what I've been telling the Orange Show audience for a while now about all the cool things going on over at adfreeshows.com.
Eric Bischoff breaks down TNA's Aces and Eights storyline like you've never heard it done before on the latest edition of In Depth.
I probably came from Sons of Anarchy, because that show, one of the threads in that show was always who's the mole? Who is in this club that knows this information that could literally put us all away for life? Who can we really trust? And guys would use that concern about trust against each other for their own agendas.
Referee Mike Chioda opens up the mailbag every other Monday, answering your questions and sharing classic stories like this.
And just lick each side of my face and grab me and hold me. And I'd be like, oh my God, all that saliva all over my face. But I mean, it would get a big pop. And just work with those guys, man. I'll tell you, never a bad moment with those guys. Never a bad day.
If you're looking for interactive experiences, Kevin Nash recently sat down with Ad-Free Shows members for a premium watch-along event of his streak-ending, title-winning match against Goldberg from Starrcade 98.
I mean, since I booked it, I should probably know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was just the way that was almost the appeasement that the company, nobody did, just clean jobs. It was, So, I mean, to me, a double run-in and a cattle prod, and I get the victory. I mean, it's...
Get this and other exclusive experiences, including now being part of the live recordings of the podcasts.
Wow. And that's just a small taste of what Ad-Free Shows has waiting for you guys. 4 levels to choose from, See for yourself why adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling today. Come on, guys, sign up.
All right, well, at No Surrender, it's September 9th. We're moving through 2012. We're back to you and AJ challenging for the tag titles. And Daniels and Kazarian would beat you both to keep the titles in 1928. Meltzer said Angle started and was limping before it even started. So your hamstring is bothering you here around this time for sure. I figured Styles would work most of the way, but no such happening. Somebody in wrestling needs to start thinking about the health of these performers. Dave's starting to speak up for you. If you're injured, you really should rest injuries instead of going out and doing 4-star matches. It was a great match, but I'd rather see a healthy Angle live a normal life than see him pass the point of no return because he never took time off to rest when his hamstring was shot. For the finish, Kazarian hit the Spanish Fly on Styles, but he kicked out. Angle gave Kazarian another German suplex, but Angle ended up being thrown out of the ring and started selling like his leg was big time injured. Styles went for the Styles Clash on Kazarian, but Daniels threw a drink in his face, and Kazarian got the schoolboy on Styles to keep the titles. Not as good as their first pay-per-view match. Yeah, that was off the charts, but easily the best thing on the show. He gave it 3 3/4 stars. Kurt, let's talk about the hamstring. Looking back, do you think you should have taken some time off instead of pushing yourself?
Yeah. There was a time in TNA where I should have taken like a good 6 months off. That did occur when I felt the best thing was to beat my addiction, and I ended up going to rehab, and I took about, a good 6 or 7 months off. And that really helped my body tremendously. But other than that, I think I was okay. I just, my hamstring at this particular time definitely needed a good 6-month break.
Yeah. By the way, you're starting to venture out to some other opportunities with broadcasting with the World Series of Fighting, but it seems to have fallen through due to a conflict of interest. Do you remember what happened with all that?
No, I don't. They did have me set up as an announcer, a commentator, and they decided to replace me with Renzo Gracie. And I'm not sure if it had to do with the network it was on, and I was on a different network, or what was going on, but they ended up replacing me, I think, with Renzo Gracie.
They did.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty cool, is it not? I mean, to have Gracie replace you, it's not not bad to be followed up by him. Yeah, right. Did you feel like you're treading water though with this tag team with AJ? I don't know if like everyone's kind of paused here because of the Aces and Eights storyline or what.
That was the problem. The Aces 8 storyline took over TV. I mean, it got so big. Same exact thing happened with the NWO and WCW.
Yeah.
It was a cool little faction. Then all of a sudden it grew and out of control, and there were just too many. And at this point in time, there were a lot of members of Aces and Eights, and we were just treading water, just trying to get through the storyline and see where our places were going to be afterward. And, it's really difficult when they're doing a storyline and they're not trying to involve you. So, you're not really involved in the storyline. And that's the main storyline going on TV. And you got your top 2 guys, AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, that's no part of it.
Well, Bound for Glory, we have another tag team match that you're involved in. This time it's a 3-way, and it's between the tag champs, Daniels and Kazarian, yourself and AJ, and Chavo and Hernandez. Hernandez, man, he's developed quite the reputation for being stiff over the years. Did you feel like that when you were working with him?
Yeah, but, I liked him stiff. I didn't mind it at all. I was stiff. And Hernandez was a big, strong dude. I mean, his moves, he was explosive. When he did stuff, it didn't tickle. It hurt. And, but I didn't mind it at all. I'd rather have a stiff guy and sell that stuff than somebody that's so light they barely even touch you and you can't sell it.
Well, we're going to watch him with his stiff moves here. We're going to watch the end of this match. It's Chavo and Hernandez. They'd win the tag titles. We have the ending, Bound for Glory. Let's take a look.
Look at AJ.
He's got his... Watch out! Oh, God! How did he change his course in mid-move? I thought he was going to spring and hit Guerrero. Instead, he came at an angle. And AJ flies.
Looks like a car wreck out here. It's like these guys fell out of the sky.
Let's get another look. Come on, guys. Show us this.
Look at AJ. Look at this amazing athleticism.
Wow.
Sacrificing his own body. Chavo Guerrero dodged a big bullet. He's the only guy left alive out of this. Now Chavo, he's got Angle. Look at that nice suplex by Chavo.
That's one.
Go for a three amigo. Ooh,
That's
another
two.
one.
One away from the three amigos.
Oh,
Not gonna
nice
get
counter.
three on
Kurt's
Kurt.
got him.
Angle slam. Kurt hits the angle slam.
Kurt Angle's locked and loaded, baby. Chavo's in trouble. Chavo's in big trouble.
Hernandez has recovered, and as Kurt goes to the top, Hernandez slides in from behind.
Oh, look at this, look at this.
Kurt's in a bad position up there. Oh, you want power? You want pure raw strength?
Tagged in. AJ's legal.
Did.
AJ's legal,
Referee
man.
spotted it. Angle able to drop down. And now, Angle and Styles with the double team that Hernandez just busts right through.
Denied.
Missed the clothesline. Double team suplex.
Well, you got to team up when you're dealing with somebody like Supermax. What a match, man. Jesus.
Kurt charges it. Chavo, who sidestepped it. Chavo turns around and gets dropped by the Styles clothesline.
What a night.
AJ
Not
doesn't
just
see
this match.
Kazarian. He doesn't see him at all. Kazarian slides in from behind.
He's telling him win it. Kazarian's telling Daniels, man, win. He's saying win it.
BME, best moonsault ever. Here it is, 1, 2.
Oh!
What? Daniels is blowing a cork. Hit the best moonsault ever. Not able to put Styles away.
Yeah, I don't, Daniels did not expect that. Definitely frustration set in. And now what? Chavo.
Chavo up on top in the corner, and Kazarian, well, momentarily stopped Chavo's.
Chavo got mine here. Daniel.
Chavo looking out to the floor. Oh, Chavo flies all the way out to the floor, right on top of Kazarian. Meanwhile, Daniels and AJ dead center in the middle.
Oh, he's got AJ. He's got AJ.
Angels wings, but it's stopped, blocked, and a back body drop by Styles.
That just rhymed. Good job, Mike.
Thank you. AJ the elbow, quickly up.
Oh! Inverted DDT. Right on that beanie bald head of Daniels. He got dropped.
AJ dares Daniels to get to his feet. Could have thought he was going to go for the Styles clash. And
well, Hernandez is tagged. Did he tag the back? He's legal, buddy. He tagged the back of AJ.
Slingshot shoulder block. Outside in by Supermax. Oh, boy.
Oh, here we go. A little border toss action.
Way across. Border toss it is.
That's Chavo.
To the top.
Chavo.
Puts the first splash off the top. Hernandez covers one. Here's two. That new champ.
Match, man. Great stuff.
There it is. New tag team champions. Meltzer would say from the Observer, they won the tag titles, Chavo and Hernandez, in a three-way over champs Daniels and Kazarian, and Kurt Angle and AJ in 15:33. It was technically good early, but no crowd. Then it got really good, and the crowd was up for the entire second half. Hernandez, as we would see there in the clip, pinned Daniels to win the titles. He gave it 4 stars. Is this one of the better tag team title matches that you were involved with here, Kurt? Meltzer's given it 4 stars for a TNA match, and that's super rare.
Yeah, you know what? It remind me a lot of my match with Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo, and Ray and Edge.
Yeah.
We had that 3-way tag match up in WWE. This reminded me a lot of that match. So, yes, it was a 4-star match. I was really happy with it.
Let's talk about Chavo here, because you just mentioned tag team matches that you've been involved with him in WWE, now in TNA. Do you feel like he's super underrated?
Oh, without a doubt. Chavo is super underrated. I mean, I will tell you this. Is he Eddie Guerrero? No, nobody's Eddie Guerrero. But Chavo comes pretty damn close. Eddie just had this certain personality and this connection with his fans.
Yeah.
He was so connected to his fans. They loved him and he loved them. And I don't know if anybody's ever going to have that type of relationship with the fan base.
Kurt, we're going to pause right now to talk about something way more important than hammerlocks and bear hugs. we need to tell our listeners about something that will dramatically improve their bedroom game. I mean, Kurt, let's be honest, some of the most exciting wrestling matches that you've been involved with, we're never going to talk about here. But I would dare say some of your best 5-star matches were between the sheets. Am I right?
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Well, if you want to match the intensity of your Olympic hero in the bedroom, then look no further than Rex MD. Do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? We've all had those nights where we get too nervous or maybe had too much to drink. There's nothing worse than not being able to deliver the pounding of a lifetime. Not because you have a broken freaking neck, no, but because your little hero won't rise to the occasion. But have no fear, Rex MD is here spreading cheer even when you have one too many beers. Rex MD is FDA approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They sponsored this episode to help you always be prepared. Guys, that's what it's all about. And they're going to make it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all of you out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. And I'm telling you, they make getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it discreetly to your door. No waiting rooms, no awkward contact with a pharmacist, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, no copays. But to take advantage of the best deal they've ever offered and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage, you can use our exclusive link right now. Go to Rex, that's REXMD.com/angle. For this limited time deal. It's fast, simple, and cheap, and you can access your U.S. licensed Rex Maryland physician anytime you need afterwards. Rex MD has already helped over 300,000 guys gain confidence quickly and conveniently, and they're here to help you too. So don't hesitate. Turn your bedroom game into something your Olympic hero Kurt Angle would be proud of and give your partner that 5-star performance they deserve. Remember, get 90% off Rex MD and only pay $2. That's it. $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to RexMD/angle and enjoy gold medal performances and make all the girls tap out now. It's true. It's damn true. So, of course, from there, you go to challenge Jeff Hardy for the TNA World title on Impact. And, buddy, in clip 3 of 4 this week, we have the video of the end of that match. Let's take a look.
To the top. Oh! No reward with the high-risk swanton off the top by the champ.
Yeah, took that major risk on that swanton. And now he's going to pay for it. Angle. He's going to be the new world champ, my man. He's got that angle slam.
Angle slam. Here's one. Here's two.
Got it. Oh, man, what a match. What a match live, man. Right here on Spike TV. This is freaking awesome.
It's the physicality. It's the drama of this world heavyweight title showdown. First defense for the new champ, Jeff Hardy, against Kurt Angle, and Kurt continues the offense. Gonna drag Hardy up to his feet by his hair. Gonna go for another suplex. Hardy reeling off the elbows to the side of the head. Oh, the boot doubled him over. Oh! Twist of fate again. Angle off the ropes. Hardy to the well. A second time, and it's a second twist of fate.
That one was right on the mark by Hardy. Angle. Oh, man.
Will the third time be the charm? Caught it. Swanton off the top. Hardy covers. Oh, no.
Talk about fortitude. Talk about toughness. Kurt Angle just exemplified it in a big way. He might have busted ribs or something right now, Mike. Could not agree anymore with a live audience here in the Impact Zone. This is awesome.
Fans here at the Impact Zone appreciating what you are seeing live on Spike. This world title matchup.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
The elevation of Jeff Hardy sent flying over the top rope. I think you can see this may be the effects of that swanton as Kurt was spitting up blood.
Yeah, who knows what's going on internally with Kurt Angle. To Hulk Hogan, our general manager, to his point, Kurt is a cyborg, so one only knows what's going on internally because he was spitting up blood. You are correct. But it doesn't seem like it's affecting Kurt too much.
straps come down. Angle has Hardy in his sights. Gonna sneak up from behind.
Oh, sunset flip.
Roll through.
Stacked him.
Hardy stacks him up, and Hardy keeps the title in his first defense.
Your winner is the World Heavyweight Champion, Jeff Hardy.
Very impressive. Very just inspirational victory. Title defense by Jeff Hardy. Out of nowhere with that counter into a sunset flip. But the key was, like we both were screaming, he stacked up Kurt Angle. All of Kurt's weight on his chest and shoulders. Let's see, we'll take a look here, Mike.
Kurt, I'm not having fun. You're losing all these matches we're watching this week.
Back to back to back.
What the hell's happening here? So
I told you they were trying to push me by the wayside. What was crazy is I think Dixie's the one that spoke up and said, "Listen, start utilize him again. Use him as our top guy." For at this point in time, I wasn't the top guy anymore. I was being utilized to make other people, and I didn't mind doing it. I knew that was my role going to TNA, but like I said, and you said, there has to be a medium.
It's a balance.
Balance, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Meltzer chimes in here. He says, Hardy pinned Angle to retain the title in 13:59. Very good match at a 3 3/4 star level. Angle was either throwing up or spitting up blood. Well, that's the perils of going live, because that was sick. Hardy won quickly after that with a sunset flip. But did you get hurt here, Kurt? Was it the Swanton? Do you remember what the situation?
It was a Swanton. He hit me. Usually when Jeff does it, his back lands on you and then his butt hits the mat afterward. But this time he did the flip and his ass landed totally on my stomach. Okay, I don't know what happened, but I started spitting up blood and I didn't know what it was from. Thank God it didn't last that long. I wasn't continuously spitting up blood, but just for like 2 minutes, I was spitting up blood for real. It was, I knew something happened in my stomach, and for some reason, he either broke a blood vessel, and that's why I started spitting up blood.
Whatever it was, that's always a little scary, internal injuries and not sure what in the world's happening when you're starting to spit up blood. Let's talk about Aces and Eights again. You mentioned it earlier. Were you excited to be getting involved in the Aces and Eights storyline, or did you think, hey, is this something that you could dig into creatively? What were your overall thoughts on it?
I mean, at this point in time, I would have loved to be involved because, they weren't. I wasn't really that much involved with it, from the beginning. And what they were trying to do with AJ and I is keep us away from them, and eventually they couldn't anymore. So, we started doing some programs with the Aces and Eights, which I was cool with, because if I didn't do that, I would have been sitting by the wayside anyway.
By the way, a quick plug for ad-free shows here. Our guy Dominic D'Angelo had Eric Bischoff join him and Tom DeShange recently for a new episode of In Depth, exclusively on ad-free, where they dig in on all things Aces and Eights. And buddy, it's a must listen. You won't find anything like it anywhere. They really dig in, and they do a nice job at taking wrestling and storylines to a whole new level. So you want to check that out. But hey, this is one of the first big pushes for Brother Devon, or Devon Dudley, as he's more well known. Did you think Devon had a big singles run in him, Kurt?
He had the ability to. Devon was probably the better singles wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Bully Ray is great at it. I thought Devon would have a better career at singles. Unfortunately, he didn't. Bubba did, actually. And they're both very good, both very talented. And but they've always been a tag team. And at this point in time, they were trying to separate. And I wanted to see Devon get that chance, because he was, anytime I wrestled Devon in WWE as in a singles match, it was really good. So I knew he had the ability to.
Well, at Turning Point, you're going to take him on, buddy. It's Kurt and Devon one-on-one. And from the Observer, they said Kurt would beat Devon in 11:47 with the ankle lock. This was weak for an Angle match, as it showed Devon's limitations. Devon also hurt his knee early, which could have played a part in it. There was also a miscommunication spot, as it appeared Angle gave Devon a backdrop, and Devon took the bump all wrong, like he was expecting a different move. Yikes. But Angle got the ankle lock on eventually on Devon. He would submit. They teased the idea of a beatdown for Angle, but he jumped out of the ring and left. Meltzer gave it 2.5 stars. That's not a Kurt Angle score. So tell us what you thought about working with Devon here, and just kind of what you thought about this match overall.
I mean, it was the first time that Devon and I worked in TNA. It wasn't our best match, but there was a couple of missed spots that affected the match. There was a communication problem at one particular point, so that's why the match ended up only being 2.5 stars, because we weren't on the same page on a couple of spots.
Was there any talk of putting you with aces and eights? I don't know if we got into that before. Did they say, Kurt, what do you think about it?
No, they didn't, and I'm glad they didn't. I don't think I would have liked being in that group. I know this: if I would have went in, I wouldn't have been one of the top guys. I'd have been hanging out in the mid card somewhere, so that it wouldn't have helped me at any point in time.
Well, listen, a lot of the guys, they wore masks, and they're not well-known workers. You got, CJ O'Doyle, who is a Florida indie wrestler. And then you had guys like Doc Gallows, now known as Luke Gallows, and also Mike Knox. Do you think the plan was to give some of these guys that weren't well-known just more exposure overall? I guess that was the goal, right?
Yeah, keep them covered for a while. After a while, get them more known, and then pull the handkerchiefs. Yeah, taking those off eventually. So I think it was a clever idea because, you keep them masked up in the handkerchief, and after a while, when they start producing and start getting more attention from the fans, you take the handkerchief off.
Yeah. Well, buddy, we're on the final resolution. You're going to team with Samoa Joe, Wes Briscoe, and Garrett Bischoff to take on aces and eights in an 8-man match. First things first here, dude. Let's talk about their respective fathers. Gerald Briscoe. We know Gerald's got a lot of street cred for discovering a ton of talent in WWE. What's your relationship like with him back then, and what is it now?
Jerry and I were like best friends. Him, Bruce Pritchard, and myself, we used to hang out together in WWE all the time. I love Jerry, and he continued to be one of my best friends all through TNA. So having Wes come in and, Jerry told me, hey, take care of my son. I said, don't worry. I'll make sure I do. And I think I had a match with Wes. He actually won. It was a cage match, our first match together. And Wes actually won the match.
Of course he did.
Yeah. Holy crap. Wes Briscoe just beat Kurt Angle. That's freaking crazy.
That's awesome. Did you get along good with Wes and have a good relationship with him too?
He was a good kid. A lot like his dad. He was a quality person. Definitely.
All right, let's talk about Eric Bischoff. Not sure you've seen what's going on, but Eric and Ric Flair have been going back and forth on their podcast. Have you seen any of this? Can you believe all these years later they're still going at it?
Yeah, they need to just hang it up. I mean, get over the anger issues of the past. Listen, Eric.
Life's too short, right?
Yeah, Rick is a great guy. Eric's a great guy. I know they don't get along really well, but, life is too short. You can't be reminiscing about bad shit that occurred in the past and hold on to that. That's just that's not good. It's not good for them or anybody else.
Yeah, man. Bitterness is a dangerous thing, man. It'll do more to hurt you than it will the other person. That's one thing.
Out of you than anything.
You got it, buddy. You got it. We've both probably had to experience that at some point in our lives. So, listen, Eric's son Garrett. Did you think he could make it in the business?
He was a good kid. I liked him a lot. I thought he was catching on. I mean, he had a lot of work to do. He wasn't quite as established as Wes, but he had a lot of promise. I thought he would be really good. I don't think he did it long enough to really make a splash in the business. He was only in TNA, I think, for a couple of years.
Yeah, not long.
Yeah.
Meltzer said the match was okay. Angle didn't work much. Well, that's why it was okay, Kurt, because you didn't work much. Only tagging in at the end. He claimed he suffered a groin injury in the match, but considering he never tagged in until the end, I would think maybe he had it going into the match, and that's why he was limited. Angle did use the Olympic Slam on the masked O'Doyle for the pin. Again, 2.25 stars. Kurt, every match it seems like you're hurt. Did anyone ever come to you and say, Kurt, just go home, okay? Enough already.
No, they did not. I wish they would have. Me, I'm not going to say, hey, can I take some time off? I have too much pride for that. But I think, Dixie Carter, there were certain points in time where she gave me a break, and I'm very grateful for that. She knew that how hard I worked and how good my matches always were. And I think she noticed at this point in time that eventually I'm going to need some time off. If she wants those quality matches from Kurt Angle, she's going to have to take better care of me. So they started giving me more time off after this.
That's right. I mean, come on, at least get you a massage therapist, at least get you something going on there. You got to take care of your man. Well, we're here. Your final match for 2012. It's during the Open Fight Night gimmick. Kurt's final match of 2012 is on Impact, December 20th versus Devon. And this is our final clip of the week. It's you and Devon, December 20th, 2012. Let's take a look.
For this Power Struggle Championships play a pivotal role, and Devon trying to hold on to that television title that quite frankly he stole with the assist from Doc and the missile drop kick now by Kurt Angle.
Well, I got a question. As much as I respect Kurt, I think his he got his instincts to go over there. A drop kick with a banged up injured knee is probably not the smartest thing to do.
Too much.
But Kurt just full of pride. And, it's easy for me to say that an armchair quarterback from here. When you're in the ring, things happen so quick. And he saw the opportunity to drop the TV champ, and he did it.
Angle now striking with the clotheslines, but he's not able to really charge into him as much as perhaps he could if he could put all the weight on that knee. But look out.
Look at this.
Belly-to-belly throw there by Angle.
Yeah, Kurt got most of that suplex. But again, was not able to utilize his back arch completely because of his knee. But he was able to turn. Kurt was able to turn Devon to his back on the throw, and now go for that ankle slam. Uh-oh.
Oh, and walks right into that, though. Spinebuster-like maneuver there by Devon. Oh! You almost put away Angle.
That was close.
Angle went for the Angle slam. Devon slipped out the back, but was it...
Devon did something smart, too, on the pin cover. He hooked the injured leg of Kurt Angle. He didn't just hook the leg, hook the injured leg. So, little nuances we talk about a lot. Well, at least I do. But nice, a German suplex by Kurt. Now will he go in and try and pop a couple more of these throws off? And boom, there's another one.
Second beautiful German suplex, just holding on like a pit bull here. Is the challenger to the television title. Can he get another one? Yes.
Nobody plays with pain better than Kurt Angle.
Great point. Agree completely. That's Kurt's deal, man. And now Angle locked and loaded.
Well, he might be locking and loading for sure with the ankle lock. Trying to put Devon away. Will Devon tap?
But the ring positioning is great here. He's got him in the center. Now what?
Come on, now this guy's a back out here. You got a feel for Brian Hebner, the referee. What the hell's he gonna do?
Oh, now Devon was tapping. But the referee, Brian Hebner, didn't see it. Because we've got chaos again.
Should have a new TV champ.
Oh, Kurt.
Wow. What a devastating blow to the back of the neck and head area of Angle. Devon retains his television championship.
Your winner and still television champion, Devon.
Devon stole that title to begin with and now steals a victory over Kurt Angle, who was just taken out with a bat. You can only hope that he's okay here.
Absolutely, we should have a new TV champion.
And just like every other clip, Kurt Angle loses again this year in 2012.
I go quite a bit in 2012.
Buddy, this is depressing. It was Open Fight Night. This is Meltzer. It opened with Kurt Angle calling out Devon for the title. The match was better than their pay-per-view match, largely because Angle was working a leg injury, so there was drama to the match. Angle would eventually put on the ankle lock, and Devon was tapping. Bischoff, Briscoe, and Joe were back out, and in the confusion, the masked Mike Knox hit Angle with a pipe, and Devon would pin him in 11:05. This seems like a lackluster way to end the year, buddy. Seems like you've had a year really good matches that didn't mean much in creative, that never really just helped you out here, pal. Is that a fair way to describe your 2012?
I don't know any other way to describe it. To be honest with you. I mean, there's these matches. I had some great matches, but they didn't help me much at all.
Well, we got some fan questions this week. We're going to roll through those, and then we're going to wrap up. And speaking of questions next week, guys, I'm really excited about. We'll get to that in a minute. Francis Reyes says, "Did you like the stubble look during that year in TNA? You had the stubble going for you."
Gosh, yeah, that was one of my things. I decided to grow some stubble. I grew it on my head here, not up here. I didn't have any hair here, but around my head and on my face. So it all matched. It was all the same length. I thought it was pretty cool.
Have you ever thought about bringing the stubble beard back?
Nope, because it's all white.
They make things for that, if you're worried about
I know. I'm too lazy to do that.
RJ's up next. He said, do you think you could have done a lot more in TNA if things for you were more on the straight and narrow?
What does that mean?
I think he means, we always ask that when RJ asks questions, what the hell is he talking about? But I think what he's trying to say is if you didn't have to deal with your demons and the drug addiction, all that stuff, do you think if you wouldn't have had to deal with that, would you have been able to do a lot more in TNA? Would things have gone a lot more? But I think it's obvious.
It would have been a lot easier for me. Yeah, that my addiction was one of the things that really held me back. And, the one thing was when I got clean, I've always taken pride in that. And that's the one thing I try to tell people. I try to give them hope that they can get through their addictions too, just like I did.
Now, well said. Graham Williams, was there anyone that you pushed for to have a better spot or really wanted to feud with, but for whatever reason, your pleas fell on deaf ears?
No, I got to wrestle everybody I wanted to.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I can't think of anybody. Maybe Hulk Hogan. I never had a singles match. Not in TNA did I have a singles match with him, but I did in WWE, I think 2 matches. And I really enjoyed working with Hulk. Even when he was that up and high in age, he still was pretty damn good to work with.
What about a young guy that you would have thought, man, it would be cool to really help trying to get him over? You just never got to work with. Was there any young guys that you kind of always had your eye on, or maybe you had a fun relationship with backstage and you're like, damn, I wish we could have worked together?
You know what? There were 2 guys that I really loved, and they were the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelton, Chris Sabin. I would have loved to work singles matches with those guys. It would have been a lot of fun.
There you go. AK-15. How come you didn't win the television title from Devon in December 2012, which is the only title needed for you to become a TNA Grand Slam champ? I felt like that was a big mistake, and your TNA run was you didn't win the TV title to complete the titles needed for Grand Slam in TNA.
Well, shit, that means I have to come out of retirement.
There you go again. There you go again. Starting the world on fire. It's so good.
Grand Slam champion.
I love it. GDP, hashtag WWDH forever. What's one thing you wished you had accomplished in TNA that you didn't?
I wish that I would have been able to help the company more.
Okay.
I wish that I could have made the company bigger. I did everything I could. Some actions that I took didn't necessarily help the company. It did hurt the company, like my DUIs and stuff like that. But I always wanted to better the company. That's what my role was in the company, whether it was wrestling or PR or whatever it was, or money. Trying to get more money for the company. I've always been into making sure that the TNA could be the biggest and best company possible. I did that because I knew when I left WWE that I most likely probably wouldn't go back. And I knew that I had to take care of the company that was taking care of me.
J. Willie 44, why do you think that Matt Morgan wasn't a bigger star? I thought he was phenomenal and had the look that it seemed like everyone wanted.
He did. He had it all. I had some great matches with Matt Morgan. I mean, even Meltzer even said I had a 4-star match with Matt Morgan at Bound for Glory. And he was talented, very talented. I really enjoyed working with him. He's a 7-foot tall, legit.
Yeah.
And, that's a guy that got into politics too. He's doing pretty well with it too.
There you go. Yeah, man, you're right. But great question, because he is a guy that you felt like had money written all over him. He had the look, size, all of it. Sec Speed is up next. In your early days in the WWE, you were learning from veterans who were both younger and older than you. In turn, did you take on a mentoring role for younger talent in TNA? And how do you like that dynamic? Also, any crazy Scott Steiner stories? So before we get to crazy Scott Steiner stories, talk about that mentorship and bringing it to TNA. Did you bring that, you feel like, there with some of those guys?
Yes, that was my role when I started in there. I had a lot of experience come from WWE, especially TV experience. A lot of these guys in TNA had very TV experience, very little TV experience. So, yeah, I went in there as a mentor, and I did the best I could to teach the guys the ropes and, give them the best advice I possibly could. I took a lot of pride in that, too.
Any crazy Scott Steiner stories?
Oh no, just the promo he did where all the numbers.
The math, Steiner math.
TNA, man, the Steiner math. Oh my God,
Oh, forever be known.
When you play it back, he's actually right.
It's something else, man. Jeremy Priest, where does Wrestling AJ rank on your list? Has to be top 5, right?
Top 3, maybe top 2. Got to put Benoit in there, Shawn Michaels, and AJ Styles. I can't even pick which one's first because they're all so damn good. Yeah.
Final question from our listeners. Kurt, do you feel that the tag titles in TNA were on par with the WWE tag titles? Meaning, do you feel the same respect when holding that title?
Yes, and I did because we made it into a reputable tag team title, I guess, situation. AJ and I tagging together with Kaz and Daniels and Chavo and Hernandez. When you have tag teams like that are so talented, that's when you build a tag team division. And we did the same thing in WWE with Edge and Ray and, Chavo and Eddie Guerrero and me and Chris Benoit. So, I feel like we did the best that we could to make those titles as legitimate as possible.
Awesome. Thank you, Bobby, for the question. Did you think there was anything that could have made TNA bigger, Kurt, in 2012?
Money.
More money, infusing more money.
Yeah, I mean, they kept digging to the well. Mr. Carter is a wealthy man, but he's only going to give us so much money. He's not an idiot, but I think that if we had a little bit more money, we would have done really well. It just, we were pulling in, we were bringing in a lot of talent, and it got to the point, I think, where we were financially not very, very stable at this point in time. And you have to remember, what they were giving me and Sting alone was a big chunk of money. And you had to think about Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. They had to be getting some big ass money. So, all these guys in the company, they had probably 60 on the roster. I mean, there were a lot of talent on this roster.
Absolutely. Kurt, next week, ask Kurt anything. 1 p.m. Eastern live. I want to put him on the hot seat. I want him to answer questions that are going to make his wife call me midweek and be like, what the hell are you asking, Kurt? That's what I want. So let's do it. We're going to take your questions for your Olympic gold medalists. All our social channels are collecting for them, which, by the way, we're going to be recording this show, Kurt, you ready for this? Live on ad-free shows on Friday the 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern. That means that we're going to see a little chat window beside us, and they're all going to be talking amongst each other while me and you do this. It's going to be fun, man.
Good. Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun.
So we're going to have fun with that. Also, this Monday, December 19th, me and Kurt are going to be live again for ad-free shows. We're doing an 8 p.m. Q&A style show where we're going to just be face-to-face. Kurt, your Olympic hero, is going to be face-to-face with you way past his bedtime, which I know is a lie because he was on SmackDown from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, and we did see that on TV. But that's this Monday, December 19th. So sign up. If you're already signed up, upgrade, be a part of it. Man, this is the Christmas season, and Kurt's in the mood to give, and so we're going to take advantage of it.
Yes, I am. I'm ready to give.
There you go. AnglePodLinks.com is where you want to go for all things Kurt Angle Show. You're going to find our merchandise store there, the YouTube link, which, by the way, check out youtube.com/TheAnglePod. I said it last week. We've surpassed 50,000 subscribers. We have a goal next year. We want to go to 100,000 subscribers. You can find all kinds of great links and great short clips if you don't have time to watch the entire show and you want to hear, what did Kurt say about this week? Or, what did Paul screw up about that week? We got it all over there. And so you're going to want to check it out at the YouTube channel. And you can find that youtube.com/TheAnglePod. And if you subscribe and turn on your notifications and tell the wrestling buddies in your life, man, you got to check out Kurt Angle. You can see him live. He's going to talk about what happened with the SmackDown birthday party and the milk truck and all that good stuff. You can see the little picture of Jason Jordan with the heart. So check it out. Kurt, go ahead, spin around. Let's get those chicken snacks out. It's time. Physicallyfit.com, buddy.
All right, physicallyfit.com. These are chicken snacks. These are Snack Smart Crispy Protein Bites. One's chicken protein, one's organic plant protein. There are 11 different flavors. Go to physicallyfit.com to order yours. Use the code AnglePod, get 20% off your first order. But if you become a lifetime member on the website, you get 20% off the rest of your life. You're going to love these guys. I eat these every day. They go great with my diet, and I absolutely love them, and I think you will too.
And if you don't believe it, just watch SmackDown again. You'll see he's shredded. He doesn't looking like 2012 TNA Kurt. Oh, no. 2022, he's ripped, rock solid, and he's full of chicken snacks. So check it out there. Final plug this week, Kurt, KurtAngleBrand.com. You got it all over there, my friend.
Yes, I have cowboy hats, birthday cards, milk cartons, autographed photos, T-shirts, cameo video messages. You go on the website, KurtAngleBrand.com, order whatever you want, and I'll send it right to you.
There it is. And you've heard it all from your Olympic hero today, Kurt. This has been a blast reliving 2012. Unfortunately, you didn't win a lot, but you put over a lot of guys.
Yes, I did.
And that happens a lot. But, man, I had fun reliving it with you. We'll be back again next week for Ask Kurt Anything. Get your questions in. We're going to have a blast. On behalf of your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, this is Paul Bromwell. We'll see you right back here next week on The Kurt Angle Show.